When people think of bullshotting trailers, they often think of the Halo 2 or Killzone 2 E3 showcases. Or I guess Watch Dogs? But I want to look at some similar, less discussed cases, which, funnily enough, most of them also end up being Ubisoft games. Now I know games change their development, stuff has to get cut and downsized, but I don't know, I often like to watch these and like speculate, or I guess mourn, what we never ended up actually getting. Because Watch Dogs I feel like was pretty tame for the most part. It was just a graphical downgrade and you can mod it back in, on PC at least. But it's not like they showed any features that didn't end up actually appearing in the full game, except for like pulling civilians out of cars and controlling the bridges going up and down, which maybe that was because of the last gen consoles, or I don't know, maybe it's still in the files. Maybe people have modded it back in for PC. I haven't played it in a while, I'll have to check it out. But for our first game, Future Soldier is a completely different game than we ended up actually getting. You got actual futuristic setting and like futuristic technology. This sooner than you think line is so cool. I love this. And the kit is awesome. You got cool shoulder-mounted missile launchers. The rifles have like this weird like machete-looking bayonet thing on them. And we've got edgy 2000 style voice modulators to sound, oh, yeah, look how cool we are.
Change of plans. We're taking this guy alive this time, 30. Understood.
But the Russians still have on like 1990s Battle of Grozny era gear, which is pretty funny. It's like a hell of a discrepancy here, guys. But the ground drone looks like a freaking Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell, and I'm always in for that.
So it is the Kasaka. Russian choppers.
But meanwhile, the full game, which I mean, it's good. I mean, full game's still good, but it ends up just being like average-looking like modern-day operators in modern-day settings with modern-day guns, but this time they can go invisible and the HUD is diegetic. They say the future soldier is an F-16 on legs, which is another great line. I love that. And the initial trailers show that, but the full game doesn't. We're talking about remaking old games. I'd love to see Future Soldier remade, but like actually in the style of these initial trailers.
As you know, one of the perks of being black is having access to the latest in experimental weaponry.
Black Ops 3 is a weird case, huh? Everyone's all excited. They're like, oh, it's a Black Ops 2 sequel. This can be great. And like it really wasn't connected to Black Ops 2 all that much. I mean, there's a couple little bits, but I mean, even so, it's still a better sequel than Black Ops 7 was. I do want to do a video on Black Ops 3 at some point, because Black Ops 3's world is pretty cool. Like, all the tech is really cool looking. I love how the Egyptian soldiers look. That's probably the best part of the game, is the bit in Egypt. And it had paint shop. I wish we had that back.
Our reputation's built on victory.
Although we're kind of getting into lore slop territory when we talk about Black Ops 3, because none of it's really in the actual game. It's all just like lore files that you read, but I don't know. Besides the point. Credit goes to this guy for uploading this footage. I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this, because I think his channel got taken down, but maybe that was for something else. I have no idea. But the HUD, look at how cool this heads-up display is. I feel like heads-up displays in video games are very often neutered for the final releases, so to be more like readable. It's all just like substance over style, but like we can't do both. It was just generic soldiers at this point, like the guy in the main menu. He looks awesome. It looks like you play as that guy, as opposed to the stupid specialists we end up getting.
Schwacked.
And I love where the red dot's placed in this KN-44, or the Iraq, or whatever the hell they decided to call it. I wish more games let you mount AK red dots on the handguard. Like, I think Tarkov and Ground Branch are the only games that let you do this. Yeah, the XR2 is full auto. I mean, I don't know if they got rid of select fire from Black Ops 2. I mean, that would have been cool. That's what I did. I would run the M8A1. I'd run on full auto because it was full auto in the campaign, but then in multiplayer it was burst, and that made me mad. And then it even had some sort of like finishing move type deal, like before Modern Warfare 19 did it. It's just classic case of wanting faceless soldiers as opposed to named hero characters, because this was 2015. We're getting to that point where it's like everybody's got to be unique, you know? Like, no, I don't want it.
Did you get that, Black? Follow the goddamn wire.
Now I'm gonna get real nitpicky. I'm still blown away at how good this looks. I mean, even back then when it came out, of course, 2011, everyone was like, how does it look this good? But something about this showcase is like so much more intense than the actual game ended up being, which I have to imagine is another case of sacrificing style for the sake of gameplay, because the amount of flinch in this, I feel like would have been so annoying to deal with in multiplayer.
Taking fire! 12 o'clock! Here they come! Take that fucking guy out!
But I miss this ACOG. With the backup iron sights, I love this model of ACOG so much. I want this to be in more games, even if it's old and outdated by now. And the sprint animation is so much cooler too. Like, I wish we had this one than the one we actually ended up getting. And the prone crawling animation, I like this, but I imagine the one that we went with, again, is also more for gameplay's sake, so that way you're not having to constantly shoulder the gun when you're ready to shoot again, and it would look really janky.
5 seconds.
And also very minor, very autistic nitpick, Modern Warfare 3, the competitor, in the trailer they showed off for survival mode, they had the MW2 red dot sight still in the game, as opposed to the crappy COD 4 one. Friggin' Chinese Amazon Airsoft red dot, it sucks. But also keeping on with Battlefield, the alpha for Battlefield 5, again, these are horribly minor, nobody else cares. Not a single person in the world cares besides me. But you see like the chromatic aberration on the UI, and it's like a slight kind of like bloom effect to it. I loved that. That looks super cool compared to it just being like flat white. Now granted, I pumped reshade into it to try and replicate it, but still, it's like, be nice if I didn't have to do that. In Battlefield 6, this poor trailer, man, this reveal trailer was so good, and all these like emotional looking scenes that never actually ended up happening in the campaign. I remember we get to the one bit in Gibraltar, and it's like, oh, here's the table. Lopez is gonna smash the table. He's so mad. It never happened. And I'm like, why? It's a miracle that Battlefield 6 ended up being like good after this very rocky development that the campaign at least seemed to have had, and after 2042, of course. So it's like, beggars can't be choosers. Speaking of begging,
shit, I missed.
Damn it!
Oh, how I miss Original Siege. Well, actually, I miss Rainbow Six Patriots the most, but what can you do? At this point, it wasn't originally a hero shooter with operator characters. It was almost like Brink, where you have light, medium, and heavy armor, and that determines the type of gear you can use. So, like, only the heavy can use a shield, etc. And there's just generic terrorists versus counter-terrorists. I mean, it was probably best, like, long-term that they went with operators, but I'll still always lament how they turned it into a sci-fi game instead of staying grounded like this. Generic faceless goons, my beloved. You had these cool cinematic map introductions, like it's Modern Warfare, although I don't know how roof entries would have been balanced. I don't know how defenders going outside would be balanced either, for like competitive, or moving the hostage. Them setting up a second time reminds me of a strat my buddies and I used to pull, where we would quickly run away from the site, and then just reinforce an entirely other room to try and trick the attackers into thinking that's where the objective was. It didn't always work, and when it didn't work, it really didn't work, but it was funny.
Hang on, wait. I'll send the drone. Alright, cover me.
Guy throw a Tootsie Roll on the floor. But the graphics are so much more moody with all these particle effects and stuff. You have like these ambient effects, like the smoke alarms going off.
Got him. Cool.
The paddock! Kitchen! Right there!
No, we got this. Get her out.
I got him!
Nice aim, genius. I don't know, I could rant for hours about how Siege's graphics and presentation have been constantly nerfed since launch for the sake of competitive, it's gotta be readable, and it's gotta have good performance for people on laptops or whatever.
You know what I believe? I believe that you're way out of your depth in this matter. So the next time you come to me and tell me what the game should be like, you are welcome to keep it to yourself. Because I don't care.
Like, remember in Vanilla Siege when it actually showed you what level of armor you had with your health? Like, why get rid of that? Like, again, if we're always being, like, competitive and readable, we don't want to, like, confuse the player or anything like that. Why not have that be there so you can easily remember if you're playing, like, a light character or a heavy character? Siege almost feels like modern Minecraft. It's just become much more gamey, for lack of a better term. Everything just feels very safe and optimized. All these bright, fancy effects, like vision blocking effects like it's Valorant, but with a DLSS 5 hyper-realism filter over it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least somewhat interested by Snake being in the game. Makes me think of another video I plan to make about how we need better crossovers in games. Not just in terms of like we need characters that fit with the theme of the game, but like actually crossing over like entire franchises to have certain styles of game be set in a specific universe. Like how Battlefield and Star Wars makes Battlefront, like that kind of thing. Again, please someone make a game that plays like this and just like early Siege. I know that 0 Hour exists, but 1, nobody plays it, and 2, why would I want to play a game that takes place in Bangladesh? Ooh, Division 1, man. Both this and Destiny 1, it's like, I thought these were going to be the best games to ever be made ever, which, Destiny, I got a lot to say about that. But they had multiple dark zones, which that was in Division 2, they fixed that. Traveling between Manhattan and Brooklyn, that would have been super cool. Like, I always envisioned, like, having to, like, walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. I thought that would be amazing. You could have, like, a boss fight up there or something like that, or some, like, really cool battle. But it's always funny to look at this point in the gaming industry when they kept trying to push, like, multimedia stuff. It's like, yeah, dude, get your iPad and control a drone and engage with the world. They tried doing that with Watch Dogs, too. Ground Zeroes had that, like, iDroid companion app, which that actually kind of made sense, because, I mean, little iDroid, you got your phone, it's showing, like, the map, like, that's cool, you can listen to the cassette tapes through it. I thought that was alright. I'd say this is one of the less egregious Ubisoft downgrades in terms of the graphical fidelity, but it's disappointing to see the scale and the density of the world get scaled back. But people want a Destiny 1 classic, fat chance of that happening now. But why not make Division 1 remastered or something and make it like more like this initial trailer? Because I think the newer console should be able to handle it if that's what the initial problem was back in the day. So those are all the ones I can think of. I don't know if you guys have any go-to trailers or demos that you can't stop thinking about and wishing, man, I wish the full game ended up like that. I guess in terms of an honorable mention, I was going through Crysis 3 trailers for an upcoming video, hint hint, but why do they always make the gunshots sound so cool in these trailers but then not in the actual game? Trailers always seem to add all these like great additional Foley sound effects that never actually show up in the final product. Weird phenomenon. I don't know why they don't do, why it's like just put this in the game, make the game actually like this. I don't know why you don't. I don't know, I got a bunch in the pipeline right now. I don't know if it will be Crysis that comes up next. Maybe I'll just do a poll. Because I do want to talk about Destiny, given recent news. But as Crysis, Titanfall, Destiny, I do have a remaster of my Modern Warfare 2019 video coming, because I want to talk about that, especially given Modern Warfare 4. But yeah, we'll put it to a poll. We'll see what happens. Okay, bye.